Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. And welcome back to our second Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest game of Broken Universe. This is session 2. Before we begin, though, a disclaimer. Less than 5 minutes, I promise. Here we go. Disclaimer. This is an adult podcast featuring adults that sometimes use adults' language. You have been warned.
I was kind of hoping somebody else would pick it up, but no one did. So thanks, nope. Dad.
We're not.
You're not as cool as me.
All right.
It's okay. It's fine.
The Pathfather has spoken.
It's a new campaign, new rules.
New campaign, new rules. Patreon for Black Dragon Gaming and the Inn of Planar Crossroads are both going on. Patreon for Inn of Planar Crossroads has a couple goals. If we reach $50 a month, we're going to give away a rule book of the winner's choice. And if we reach $100 a month, we're going to give away the special edition Pathfinder 2 ebook that we ordered. So there's that.
Ooh, still in the shrink wrap.
Still in the shrink wrap. You get to tear it off and go get the satisfaction of it. So
slower.
So there is that. Our next subscriber appreciation one-shot is going to be at 400. Colin has volunteered to run that one if it fits in his schedule. This month's giveaway is going to be for those of the giant tier or higher on our Patreon. At the end of the month, we give away something, and this time it's going to be probably a Hero Forge Mini. I believe that's what we're going to do this time. The audiobook project for the Pathfinder 2nd Edition is going well. I finished up recording Barbarian today. So we're going to work on that as quick as we can while still maintaining quality. So if that's what you're looking for, we're getting there. We're getting there as fast as I can, fast as I feasibly can. And I believe that's it. So let's get to the game.
Yeah.
When last we left our heroes, they were setting out from the Inn of Planar Crossroads, which was found in the middle of nowhere, basically. There was no other stuff around. It was just the inn. Everybody was introduced to each other, and they were sent out by the procurer and asked to find a container. They don't know specifically what type it is or the things along those lines, but they do have small gems on each of their persons that will allow them to kind of halfway locate it and allow them to have that ability to check that out and test where it might be. Depending on the power of the creature or whatever it is, the power of the container, the creature, the item, whatever you're seeking, it responds that way.
We can ping it on the minimap.
So, yeah.
Tommy, you put the push notification in Tim and Adam's show. Great job. Not the general Discord.
Well, they'll still see it. Tim and Adam see it. I'll put it in the general one too. I'll put it in the shit posting too, because that's what you guys are.
Oh, you're so mean.
There.
So mean, Tommy. Fame has made you evil.
Yeah.
Fame
It's hurtful of my feelings.
Crossroads.
All right. So you guys are basically where your wagon is on the mini map.
But it's not blue.
Well, this is the world map. Hey, I wasn't going to bother to recolor it, okay? If you guys want to recolor that thing, it's your business. But
sounds like a challenge.
I mean, if it's a reoccurring wagon, yeah, I might just do that.
Let's see if the wagon survives a couple levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will scale with us.
We will.
Yeah, the wagon has proficiency bonus.
It's Ignatius' laboratory all over again.
Good.
All right. So what would you guys... you guys are basically heading out. I'll switch up the music so you guys can have some different traveling music. Something a bit more easy traveling music.
I suppose I'll turn it up so it actually plays.
Why don't you sing something for us, Kane?
Because Cashew did not prepare anything.
You're the worst bard ever!
Man, you're so judgmental.
Why you gotta be so judgmental to Cashew?
I'm not gonna sit here and drum
Like, for half an hour, we wouldn't get anything done.
By the way, depending on how long we're going to be traveling together, I can craft things for you guys.
Okay.
Can you repair things or just craft them?
Repair stuff as well.
Yep.
Did you take a feat for that? Or is it just ranks in crafting?
Just
It's
Trained in
ranked.
crafting?
It's ranked. Blah. You have to have, I think, trained in crafting, and then a repair kit on you to repair stuff.
Fair enough.
Which I have.
Octarion has that as well. I wasn't intending to use it to fix mundane things, but that's probably how second edition is going to run, at least for several levels for us.
I mean, the wagon
Except
might
for
break
Cashew.
down. I don't know how to fix things.
You don't need to. You have a high charisma. You're going to be covered in magic items. We can't use it. Pass it all to Cashew.
I'm gonna be covered in all sorts of stuff.
Hey,
Except
Jalurie's
armor,
got
'cause
charisma
that
too.
bare chest.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
you're a
I don't
sorcerer.
know what that means, but I'm sure it's gonna happen.
He's going to be covered in lots of stuff except armor because he's got to have that hairy bare chest. You know.
Mage
My
armor is
pride.
actually just kind of like entangled, just the hair growing out a little bit.
That's how I grapple. Chest fur.
He takes
Cashew will cast
takes-
brown tentacles.
prehensile. He's got prehensile hair like the witch thing
Yeah.
on
Ugh.
his chest.
Not
It's a
bad.
spell called Grim Embrace. We don't like to talk about it.
Good.
All right. Well, as you guys head out, it's a rather beautiful morning. The sun is out. The smells of very, very late summer coming into more fall, really. Even some of the colors have started to shift over in the Westwood, though you can't see it from where you are. The grasslands where you currently are traveling down this cobbled road, probably. It's a rock road that has been at least halfway maintained by the royalty. And it's wonderful. The smells of that fall time come in, and you hear the wind blow over the grasslands that have started to turn a more auburny color, more golden color, as it is technically the harvest month. It is... Oh, let me bring that up. It is technically... Where is that? September. So you have that. It is about, for those keeping track, it is about the 16th of or September.
I
Because
believe that just
sometimes
yesterday,
Alex keeps track of that.
I'm sorry.
so much stuff happened in Milcian. Such a beautiful morning.
I mean, we're not in Milcian. We're just sort of in the middle of nowhere right now.
You weren't there, Cashew.
I dropped
Sorry.
my coins. Sorry.
Cashew literally says, "Drop my coin." Sorry.
Butterfingers over here. Whoops.
No, what was it he was eating the other day? He's got some of that grease left over on his fingers.
No, I had to go. They made me. Jenkins made me go to the washroom and clean myself.
Scallops, haggis. No, scallops. Mussels and haggis, I believe.
Mussels and haggis with fried
Ugh.
onions.
Yes.
Nice.
You guys head out. From the north, a cool wind blows and seems to push at your backs, leading you down the road. You continue to travel on, I guess, down the road.
No.
No.
Unless anybody has anything pressing to do while we're on the road.
I have one thing.
All right.
Okay.
So Jarrko takes out his great axe, places it in his lap, the flat side. He yanks off his
Whoa.
I was wondering if I was the only one who heard it that way. I should have known better.
his right glove,
Ooh.
That's not better.
You can see that he has a gnarly, like, black, like, burn scar on his palm. And he...
Is it shaped like anything, or is it just like a burn mark?
No, it doesn't really look like it's shaped like anything. It's just basically covering his entire palm. And he... yeah. And he starts, like, mumbling to himself in a low voice. And snap his fingers 3 times. And his index finger's point starts to... it starts to like burn just slightly, like a blue flame on the tip of his finger, and he starts to basically like weld on his axe symbols and runes, whilst murmuring to himself.
Is this something Cashew's seen you do a lot? Is this sort of like a it's a fairly common-ish ritual for you?
Yeah, you would probably have seen it.
You say the word runes, and I have to ask if it's something mechanical, because that's the thing in Pathfinder.
It is something mechanical.
Oh, sweet.
He's casting a spell.
No, I'm not casting a spell.
Well, what
He's
did
using
you
a
tell us?
class ability.
Why did you ask him,
One sec.
Octarion?
So
I did, I just asked him. I'm asking for all the viewers on Twitch.
No.
No, Octarion didn't ask.
That's not how
He
it
didn't
works.
ask. Tommy's petting a kitty right now.
So he spends a minute doing that.
Is your hand okay?
Oh, yes, no, it's no problem. It is an old wound. And he just extinguished the flame on the tip of his finger.
Okay, so other sort of question. Is this something like from what Cashew understands, is this something like you do when you figure there might be trouble, like you're preparing?
Not necessarily. You would recognize that it is his holy symbol that he has drawn on the axe.
Okay. I was curious.
As you
Go ahead.
finish this, you feel a familiar welling of strength and confidence in Angrad.
He slips the glove back on.
All right. So who's driving?
Cashew does not know how to drive. He doesn't have a license.
That's a really good question.
Not
Yeah.
Tyler.
Octarion.
Guys wanted to
Octarion
cart.
is
I'm like, who's driving?
Farther ahead, much like Necros did, except now it's not. I want to explore nature. Now it's you take too long.
Yeah, but you might be the one with the highest dex modifier, so...
Yeah, I didn't want a cart. Alex always wants a cart. Alex babysit his own boars, which are much stronger than all of us.
Yeah, but I'm
You
busy for a
babysit the
minute.
twin death machines.
I mean, someone has to drive it for 1 minute. Then I can take over.
I mean,
All right.
how do you drive it?
You hold the reins.
That's exactly the
No, I
question.
mean, what
to
kind of
ask.
check mechanically? What kind of check?
Handle animal. Nature, I guess. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I was gonna say, hold on, let me look at our new character sheets.
Boom, boom, boom.
And do you have to be trained in that to do it or not? That is...
No, you don't have to be trained in anything. But you suck at it if you don't have training in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cashew's got a -1, so I probably shouldn't do it.
I get a +1 to it.
So you get basically got a 0. All right.
No, I have +2 whiz modifier, +1 after
Oh, okay.
taking 2 off and adding 1 back. For level.
All right.
Anyone else volunteering?
Yeah, sure, I'll take
I
over.
just said I had a -1.
Oh, there's only one other person.
I'll handle the boars, no problem.
Okay. Well.
And he looks so
Like
happy.
While they're fussing over the boars and Jarrko is carving his holy symbol into the flat of his axe. I guess passing time, Cashew will like fray off part of the end of his 50-foot length of rope and start tying like those 3-cornered knots.
Okay.
They'll begin braiding little versions of Magda's holy symbol.
Sounds good. A comfort comes over Cashew as well as he remembers Mom and Nutt teaching him this particular arrangement.
Cashew like arts and crafts.
So, you guys go ahead and do that then. Before we get too far in, let's everybody have a D20 roll, please.
That's spooky. Azazel, it's a 19 before the cat hit it.
Just raw mods.
Can you roll for me? That's my hand. Roll the dice.
Is this just a flat check?
Just flat, yep.
I got a 5.
Okay. What about Lucia? There's Lucia. 12 from Colin. And Alex was...
A 10.
Okay. All right. Duly noted. So you guys continue on then. And as you're going down, the day where we can have perception checks from those looking to perceive.
Yeah. 11.
I'm going to take a pass. Cashew's not very observant.
21.
Okay.
Nice. 12.
21, 12. Okay. And 21 also from Jarrko. So you guys get about halfway down here. So about half of your day's travel goes by, and you guys end up. Do you want to stop for lunch, or no? You want to keep going?
Oh, like a picnic? I want that. That's my vote. I got my hand up.
Sure, we can take a small break.
Yay!
Let the boars have some rest.
Okay, sounds good. You guys, with those perception checks, Jarrko and Lucia are both able to kind of just spot a little stream where the boars can water and some grass, nice grassy area, this whole place that they can feed on. You don't pass any farms or establishments in this area because it's so far between Lordland and Knob's Landing. So there's that. Let me see. Everybody has a fair time with their lunch. Are you guys going to eat from the prepared lunch, or are you going to do something different?
I mean, they gave us free food, right?
Yeah, I guess we eat the fresh food first.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh stuff before rations.
Okay. All right.
Mom and Ned made
So
Cashew take raisins with him. Cashew hates raisins.
Oh, I'll take those rations from you if you want.
Right, but you gotta trade. You can't just have them.
All right.
Oh, rations. I get it. Took me a second.
Trading lunches.
Yeah.
So, what do you want in exchange?
Okay, we're doing this. What you got? You got apple chips?
I do not have any of the apple chips.
Oh. Also, chips are Cashew's favorite.
So that happens.
All right. They barter for that. You guys open up the bag from the procurer. Not the bag. The little
picnic
care
basket.
package, I guess.
The picnic basket?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
bear pops out of nowhere, says, "Hey, boo boo, grab the picnic basket."
Cashew kills and eats that bear.
Perhaps he will. You guys are, as you open up the basket, you find a wonderful selection of different small little dishes. There's what you would expect with some breads and some dried fruits, including the apples. There's also a couple fresh bits in there of a freshly cooked meat from Calcifer's kitchen. There is a bottle of it's got kind of a gray-green color, presumably the juice that Maria made. And that's kind of what you find. It seems to have the stuff. It seems to have each of the items and foodstuffs that you each prefer on this type of travel. So
what I'm hearing is there are apple chips.
There are apple chips.
Yeah.
All right, you can have my apple chips for the raisins.
You don't have any apple chips.
Sure I do. Look.
I didn't eat all the apple chips.
Those are my apple chips.
No, I'm pretty sure they were in my part of the bag.
No,
You don't want the raisins anyway.
Well, yeah, but I'm not just gonna give them away.
The important stuff.
Nothing good comes free.
So Jarrko and Cashew continue to discuss how best to distribute the raisins and apple chips. Any other things that would like to be done over the lunch period, over this break?
Octarion is gonna let his falcon out to go on. Yeah.
Okay. Make me a let me see. Does your falcon even have survival? It should.
It doesn't have anything. Yeah. It's just a pet until level 3, at which point it becomes my familiar.
Okay, well, we're going to let it hunt then. Roll it a d20 flat check.
Okay, I rolled a 10.
It finds, it seems to come back with a mouse.
Okay.
And eat on that.
Okay.
As you continue on. Does anybody bother with the other stuff, like the juice or the basket itself and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Can we eat the basket? Is that what you're implying?
I didn't say.
Only one way to find out.
I don't know what Cashew does. But
Jalurie will try the juice.
And Tibelda will try some of the meat.
Okay. So you try the meat. The meat is very, very good. It seems to be done. There's two different types. There's a fowl, and then there is a red meat. So whichever one she would try would be. The red meat is done. It seems to be cured in such a way that there's still red on the inside. You can't quite pin down what type of meat it is, but you like it, and it's got a basting on the outside of cracked pepper and a savory sauce that has a sweet hint to it of honey. And then the bird has a more fresh lemon flavor that seems to have had oil and lemon and rosemary as its main seasonings.
I can't pick that one out, but the first one really sounds like brisket.
There you go. So who all imbibes the juice?
Yeah, sure, why not? It's a party.
Is there enough for everybody?
Depends how much each person drinks.
Gotcha.
I think we'll make sure that Cashew drinks last.
It's probably a good idea.
The safest.
Jalurie will have some, but she'll sort of sniff it first.
Octarion will drink as well.
All right. So that's everybody, I guess. Everybody takes.
Everybody make a fortitude save.
Everybody make a fortitude save.
Oh,
Cool.
you're right.
Lord.
18.
I know you, Adam.
Yeah. Well, technically, you know Maria.
Oh dear.
17.
17. Okay.
18 total.
Okay.
22.
Lucia got a 22. Jalurie got a 15. All right. And everybody passed. Woohoo! Everybody passed.
No one gets lightning diarrhea this time.
Yes!
So you guys are all drinking. Cashew takes the last swig, and within the bottle, you see that there is an eyeball, some kind of lizard tail, and what looks to be the talon of something. And you almost spit out the juice, except you realize that you feel really good after.
Adam, does this jug have like a removable top or something?
It had a cork in it, so.
Oh, okay, but
Technically.
okay. So like, if the eyeball and all that went inside, it must also be able to come out, right?
Yeah, it kind of just stuck there. So he's. So
Cashew's definitely trying to tap the last of that out. And
he got his tongue. His tongue goes in there. It's like. You definitely get it out eventually. It tastes kind of good.
Eyeball is a delicacy.
Yep. So you guys actually feel pretty good. You feel really hearty. So mechanically, you get a +1 to any save you would like, but only once. And this lasts for the day. And you also get 5 temporary hit points.
Ooh,
Hooray.
Just don't fail the saves when you take some of Maria's drinks.
Yeah, you will crap thunder and piss lightning.
That's not really an exaggeration.
No.
So, because that happened to Joel. Anyway, that's how lunch goes. You guys can continue on. You don't see or hear anything with your perception checks that worries you. Cashew may not necessarily be watching super hard, but Jarrko, you don't see anything that's set you off or anything like that.
Are there traffic on the road, or is it just us?
So far this morning, it's just been you, but that's probably going to change soon. We stopped about halfway in the day, and this is about a halfway mark. This is a long journey for people, so they may not have come this far just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
Are we done with lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jalurie's probably eating a little more politely than she was the other day.
Okay.
But that's about it.
It's because you're not shit-faced. Oh, dang it!
Cashew feels this thump on the back of his head.
Ow!
There is that. You guys continue on. You go to the next square, which is basically the rest of the day. Do you want to camp, or do you want to continue through the day and get yourselves all taken care of as far as that's concerned, as getting that extra travel in, or are you wanting to go ahead and camp?
I think we should just progress.
Okay.
I mean, we need
How far off are we?
We need another day of traveling, so we might as well try and get to Mob's Landing before nightfall the day after.
Okay. So, you guys push on just a little bit more before you camp. What do you want to push on for a full half travel?
What do you mean?
Half a
How many
squat-
people can sleep in the wagon? Like, while it's moving?
While it's moving, probably the wagon is just meant to carry some stuff, and you guys didn't get like super deluxe wagon on your loan.
Couldn't afford it.
on your lease thing, so
2, 3 people maybe? I don't know.
I mean,
probably
Jalurie's got a
closer to
tent.
2. Yeah, but sleeping in the wagon would be
Yeah.
if you guys
Yeah.
tried to travel and sleep, because Octarion's riding right now, so his horse will have to rest. And if you guys push, it will affect the animals eventually. It's not like you're going to push forever. So. If you push for another half day's travel, you're going to travel until 6 o'clock in the morning. The animals will have to rest.
Would another half day get us where we're going?
No, the squares is a half day each
Okay.
on the map.
I think we'll just we push like an hour or two, just so we can get there the next day a little bit earlier than nightfall.
Yeah, better not to over-exhaust the animals.
For sure.
And of course, we'll try and find a suitable place where we can camp.
Okay. For those wanting to keep an eye out for that, we can have perception checks from those that do not have nature.
Or survival.
Yep, I don't have survival either.
I have survival and nature, but my perception is better. So that's fine.
Total 17.
It was almost a natural 20. It's an 11. I'm cool.
Oh gosh.
I mean, if 16s keep up, I'll take it.
I'll roll survival then.
I guess I'll have my horse can make a perception check to seek, so why not? It gets a total of 9. Hooray! I'm rolling real bad. These dice suck. But I beat Jalurie.
Yep. Your horse beat her.
Yeah, take that.
Okie dokie. All right then. Between your guys' results, that looks like a Jalurie of 15, Lucia of No.
Jalurie's 7 at the
Jalurie
bottom.
7. There we go. Jarrko of 23, Lucia of 17. So
Cashew
those
of
are
17.
enough.
11 and 9
Cashew of
for me.
17. 11 and 9. You guys think you find a spot that's all right? It gives you a little bit of shielding from the road that is sometimes welcome for when travelers that are not supposed to be there are poking about. And you're able to settle down in there, get a fire going, and have a fairly safe night, you would think, if you stay right here. So go ahead and establish for me who's taking what watch.
Jarrko's got to be in the middle of the night because he's the only one who can see in the dark.
What is the current phase of the moon?
The current phase of the moon, I have to actually look.
Not just going to make something up because he has a chart, probably.
He does. He's amazing. So prepped.
Amazing.
Amazing! You hear whispered in the wind.
Does it work?
All right. So let me see. The moon
Was
phase.
literally divine intervention.
All right. Moon phase right now is going to be. It's currently a waxing half moon.
Okay. So how does that affect low light vision?
Low light vision you should be able to see at night during moonlight, I think.
Okay.
It needs to be
Depends.
usually around
Right.
full moonlight.
Depends on how much clouds, too.
You guys are coming into the fall, and it is more cloudy.
was gonna say, what's the prevailing weather system, Adam? Jesus.
Gotta roll that nature check.
You go to ask, and I tell you. So there it is.
Yeah. What's the moisture in the air?
yeah. What's my barometer say?
It's fairly, I mean, it's not really humid right now, so you don't sense any wind, any rain coming.
All right.
All right.
Jarrko will sleep under the wagon.
Okay. Roll me.
Can I just say really quick? Who remembered to buy bedrolls?
Octarion has a bedroll.
And a tent. Up tent anyways.
All right, then I'm sleeping in the wagon because I forgot.
All right.
I don't have money.
Cashew isn't used to sleeping on the ground, I'm sure.
Yeah, I didn't have the cash for it.
You didn't have the silver for it, man.
Oh,
No.
I had money for it. I just forgot.
He'll take like a bag of potatoes or whatever and sleep on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Low
So
light vision does not treat creatures within objects or dim light as concealed. So whatever
Right.
dim light counts as.
okay. So you guys are set pretty well for the night. Who's again taking the watches?
Octarion will go first.
Okay. And then who will go after that?
Tibelda will go after that.
Okay. So we have Octarion, Tibelda.
Cashew's gonna call last watch.
Okay.
So Jello then.
Cashew's just a morning person.
So that sounds like third.
Jello and then Jarrko.
On the note of counting the party, Adam, have we established what happens to like players when they don't show up? Because obviously we're down a dwarf right now.
Right. Canonically, we can go ahead and handle that right now. As Mulgren is saying something along the lines of, those knife ears up in those what is it, Forbidden Green, they don't know what they're doing. And I've killed, and he starts talking about the different things he's killed in the Slot Marshes, like kobolds and so on and so forth. And as he does, he trails off. He
trails off into lightning diarrhea.
Trails off, but everyone hears the crack of thunder.
He trails off and goes and lays down in his bedroll. He has just gone to sleep, it seems. So there you go. We'll see.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
That sounds like Mulgren. I'm a shitty assy dwarf, and I hate everyone.
I'll
I hate
pass
everyone.
Like one loud fart that he leans over for, and then he hops out of the wagon and like gets into a sleeping bag, and that's his whole night for him.
One loud
Yeah, it
thunderous
stinks to that.
fart.
So all that goes on, and you guys are able to start up your watches. Tommy, go ahead and make me a perception check for your watch.
Alrighty. Octarion has a 19 with low light vision. I will light a torch so my horse can see. My horse also has scent, which I think just functions in a cone in front of it now. I haven't read as much as I should have. So I had a 19 and a 17 for my horse.
Okay. Your horse isn't paying that much of attention because it's resting.
Sure.
Um,
What if I don't want it to? What if I want it to help me keep watch and then rest with me after?
you can keep it saddled. You can
Okay.
keep it saddled and bridled and keep it kind of just walk it around.
That's fine.
So you do that. You see some movement over by the the place where you stopped, there's not a lot of trees in this area, but you guys did find one, a little cluster to stop by. They're like 30 or 40 feet apart, most of them, but it's a little cluster of them. And there, in this cluster, there seems to be a movement amongst the trees. In fact, it's a movement that you watch come from the northwest towards this cluster of trees.
Okay. Would that... Well, I don't know how any of the skills work in this game. I'm gonna roll a nature check to try to identify if that's doable. Or would it be survival? I don't know, I'm just gonna throw a d20 on the board. It's the same modifier. 14.
14? It's hard to identify, as this creature, this thing seems to be keeping to the grasses and specifically moving around to try and avoid detection from anything. You do get the sense with your perception that it's not like it's trying to sneak up on you necessarily, but rather that it's trying to make it to the trees.
Okay. Octarion will watch it go, and if it well and truly does go into the trees afterwards, I'll go where it was, and then I'll make a survival check to try to find tracks.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and mount now though, and like have my bow ready. No, I won't actually. It's a javelin because javelins are better. Oh.
Okay. You start to go over that way.
And then the survival is a modified 20. The horse can make a survival check to track as well. And he has a 19 modified.
Okay. So, you start to go over that way. You come to the place where you're pretty sure you saw it enter and get fairly close. It seemed to kind of dunk behind some of the larger grasses amongst this thin tree.
Yeah.
You can pick out the footprints and things like that, but as you do, it's very, very light. It's almost like the grass springs back up instead of being crushed down by its foot. It just kind of tries to spring back up. And you're picking your way around and you're like, well, that's a very small footfall there and then there. And as you do, your perspective on the horse actually lets you see it before you even really see the lading of the footprints. There's this naked female form almost to a tree that's the largest of the ones in the area, but it seems to have collapsed. She has a very a yellow-red type of skin color, and her hair is a brown with autumn leaves kind of caught in it, and autumn leaves and twigs kind of caught in it, and she seems to have been going towards that, but has collapsed.
Okay. Nature check to identify. Crappy. It's 12.
12? You get closer. You start to...
Not that much closer. I'm not entirely sure if this is hostile or not.
So with the 12, you don't get any closer. So with that 12 and not getting any closer, it doesn't look like a human. You can't really see the ears really well with the hair all tousled, and because she's got long, very wavy hair that seems to come down almost, if she stood up, probably to her mid-back. And thinking about how tall she might be, if she stood up, she'd probably be maybe 4.5 feet tall, with a fairly not slender build, but maybe an athletic build might be the right way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really pick out what she might be because she's face down, and all you can really tell is that it's female and it's something.
Okay.
Not human, though.
Definitely not human, definitely female, is passed out. Does Octarion care? Octarion has a job. Job more important? Random forest lady? I should have played something like Cashew so I could just roll dice and that would answer all of my questions. Yeah, sure, why not? I will approach the woman.
On or off your horse?
Mounted.
All right. So you coconut up, and get fairly close. You can see. You knew before she was breathing, but now you can tell the breathing's kind of haggard. The athletic build that you saw has definitely become somewhat emaciated. She seems to have been reaching towards the roots of the trees, and she didn't get there. She's probably like 4 or 5. She's probably 5 to 6 feet from the tree, and has collapsed in front of it. Do you move her or anything like that? She doesn't seem to respond to any noise that you've made thus far.
Okay. An untrained check is a -2 before the modifier. Is that right?
What was that?
-2 plus level.
-2 plus level. Okay, so then an untrained medicine check from me is just a flat roll. Okay, so we'll roll a medicine check and see if we can figure out what's up. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a 6. I guess. Yeah, okay, Octarion will dismount, and I'm going to have my scimitar out with one hand, and then, like, with the other, reach down and try to roll her over. She might be infected. You're right, Alex. This is it. This is where I get to try out the myriad of playtest characters that I have.
All right. So, you get down, start to kind of move her, or something like that.
I just want to flip her over.
Okay. You go ahead and flip her over. She doesn't have this. The color scheme of her seems to stay as you turn her over, so it's not like something's happened to her back to make it orangey, reddy, yellow. She actually is that color all over. Okay. And as you turn her over, her eyes seem a little bit larger than what you would expect from a human. Okay. And her mouth is just a little bit wider, and her lips seem to be a natural, vibrant red, like that of an autumn leaf.
Okay. Have I received enough stimulus to attempt another nature check?
You can, yes.
Okay, sweet. That's a 16.
So a 16 tells you that this is probably a fae of some kind, perhaps a dryad or a nymph or a nature spirit or something along those lines. And it seems, reasoning out, it seems to be trying to make it to the tree.
Okay. Octarion will put away his scimitar and go to, like, pick the thing up by, like, under the knees and under the neck. Do I get bit? Do I get attacked? Because if no, I'm going to walk towards the tree.
Okay, I mixed what you said. You said Octarion is going to
pick her up and take her to the tree.
Okay. She lets out a small, quiet moan as you lift her up. And as you take her to the tree, she doesn't seem to react negatively. Her eyes try to flutter open, but they do not. Okay. So you take her over to the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So you take her to the tree and kind of just get fairly close, and her eyes flutter open as best they can. She looks at you very groggily and tiredly, and looks over to the tree, and with it within touching distance, she just kind of touches it and starts to go into the tree. And she is lifted kind of out of your hands and into the tree. And her face kind of comes out of the tree, looking more there, and she smiles and nods and goes back into the tree.
Okay. Octarion will nod back, and how long till my watch is over?
This probably happens... Moon needed to be up, so this probably happens near the end of your watch.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Octarion will head back to his horse and then make his way back to camp.
Okay.
Have a torch out, both so his horse can see and so the party doesn't figure out that he has low vision. No dim dwellers in first edition.
All right. Sounds good. The rest of your watch goes without issue.
Okay.
Next up is Lucia.
All right, I got an 18.
All right. 18 for your perception.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. You watch and look, and there's a fairly easy night going on so far. The clouds have started to build up a bit more with your watch. And even though the moon is waxing and shining, it's definitely not full yet. You're not getting a lot of details of what's going on. The majority of the watch goes fine, but right about mid-range, and you catch a movement among the trees as well, and there's a passing from, like, a movement from one tree to another.
I'm going to light a torch and investigate. Like, move towards the trees and see if I can make out what's going on.
Okay. So as you move to the trees and you start to poke about a bit, make me a survival check. As you look around, perhaps you'll find some things that are on the ground or around.
Oh, that's a 14.
14. You don't see anything. There's no footsteps where whatever it was moved around. The moon comes back out from among a cloud, and you see this little red dash kind of come across the corner of your eye. And as you look over that way, you don't see anything except a larger tree, probably the biggest tree that's in this little conglomeration of trees, but a larger tree.
Okay. I'm going to sort of cautiously put my hand on the hilt of my axe and move closer to the larger tree to investigate this red dash.
Okay. You start to go around and, look around the tree, and you see another red dash just outside along the edge of the tree.
Can I attempt a perception check to see what the red dash is, or is it too fast?
You can try another perception. How about we treat this like a challenge then?
Okay.
You're trying to track this thing down. You roll me 3 perception checks with the goal of breaking the DC at least twice.
Okay, so that's a 10, a 17, and a 22.
A 10, a 17, and a 22. Okay, so as you start to look around the first time, that dash just goes... But you start to kind of get the way it's going around, and you go the way... It's like playing tag with a kid. They go round and round and round the tree. You go around the other way of the tree, and you come full face to this lady, this naked individual who is orange and very different looking from a human, As far as the eye structure, the eyes are a bright, vibrant green with no pupils or iris, just a total green. And she goes, "Whoa!" And you see her dash into the tree.
Can I make a nature check to sort of figure out what I just saw?
Okay.
16.
16? Probably some kind of fey or spriteling, considering it ran directly in the tree. You've heard of things. You've heard of things like dryads and stuff like that. You know, like in the tales and stuff. Mainly hanging out in the woods. It is a bit odd. The stories that you've heard have been them only being like in more denser woods, not in smaller little collections of trees that are only about 10 to 11 trees, 10 to 12 trees. So,
would I know if the area has been recently deforested?
From your perception checks along the road and stuff like that, probably not. These trees here have grown up for a long time, comparatively speaking, and this isn't really the place you would expect to find trees.
Okay.
So.
From the stories I've heard about dryads, would I have heard if they are hostile or how they usually interact with other humanoids?
They can be a little bit capricious, but other than that, they seem to be fairly well benign.
Okay. I'm gonna try and talk to the dryad just like a hello, sort of like in the darkness.
Okay. You can.
Do I get a response?
Why don't you don't get an immediate response. Let me see something real quick. Make me another perception check.
18.
18. You see a hand start to come out and reach around from the back to try and pinch you. And as you turn around, it's like she's putting her hand out to pinch you, but she can't see outside right now because she's looking around the other way. So her hand's sticking out there, and it's reaching towards you. And it pinches you and goes over again. It doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay. So just being like Trixie Faye. Okay. Tibelda's gonna kind of like chuckle and go back to her watch at the camp.
Okay. You back to watch at camp. Through the night, through the rest of the probably 2 hours, through the rest of the hour, probably left on your watch, you do catch those dashes back and forth and that quick movement, but other than seemingly just watching you, doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay, cool. I will finish my watch then.
All right. That means we're to Alex. So as Tibelda comes to roust you from underneath the wagon where you and you kind of were under the wagon, but then you got dragged out by one of the boars, and the boar was sleeping kind of beside / on top of you. So she has to kind of move the boar.
So his like right hand is like twitching in his sleep.
As I go to wake him, I tell him about what I have witnessed.
It's what?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, it is not, no problem. Why am I on this boar?
The boar was on top of you.
All right. This is strange. You were saying?
So it seems like we have happened upon the home of a couple of like tree fae of some kind, probably dryads. They don't seem to really want anything. They're just like watching us.
I see. And where are they? Where were they spotted?
Going from tree to tree.
I see.
And I would point out like the trees that I saw.
All right, I'll keep it in mind. You go sleep now, Derry. And he'll strap on his armor.
Zelda's gonna get out her bedroll and go to sleep.
All right. For your watch, go ahead and roll me that perception check, as well as we'll let you kind of get the idea that the.
Rolling so good.
Ooh, 21. Yeah, you know you are. You're rolling pretty hot. So your perception, you're on the spot. Like you see those red dashes back and forth occasionally. You even see the face that's been described before, kind of peek out, not looking as sallow as when Tommy had seen it, as when Octarion had seen it. But you wouldn't know that particularly. But she seems fully fleshed again. There is this oddness to her that is expected with Fae. But that's not really what gets your attention mostly through the watch that you've had. Your watch, during it, you seem to see a lot of movement from over at Mulgren's area. Mulgren seems to twist and turn a lot in his sleep, mumbles.
Yeah, Jarrko's gonna like watch everyone sleep. Like go up to everyone and like watch them for like 5 minutes or something.
What, just like deeply and intently?
Yeah, I mean, doesn't everybody do that? So
Jalurie is in her tent, but she's probably making a little bit of noise, probably nightmares or something.
Okay.
Cashew sleep talks, but it's not in a language you know.
Yeah, you don't know what he's saying, though.
Well, I mean, maybe you do. Do you speak Sylvan?
No.
Okay, then it's not in a language you know.
All right. He's not gonna bother with the tree spirits as long as they keep to themselves over there at the trees. But he'll keep an eye on them.
Okie dokie. So as you kind of do that again, the only one that really kind of strikes you as odd as far as sleeping is Mulgren, because he's tossing, turning, and he seems to be sweating pretty heavily in his sleep.
Yeah. Is that lightning diarrhea?
Oh, I didn't make him a save, did I? Yes.
Auto fail.
Nah, he didn't fail, I don't think, not being a fighter with his proficiency. So, otherwise, your night goes fine. There doesn't seem to be any kind of crazy things go on.
He'll quietly open up Jello's tent.
Okay.
Just observes her for a moment before, like, shaking her boot.
Does that gotta be Wait, he shakes her boot?
Yeah, you're the next person on watch.
Ah, sorry. Did not realize that because I had to run real quick. But he goes, time for my watch.
Right.
Can you imagine if he was just like, no, and then just walked away?
Anything interesting happen I should be aware of?
It's a quiet night. I mean, it's not that quiet. It's spirits of the woods in the trees, but they're not hostile by the looks of it. Just don't bother with them. Just keep an eye on them, okay?
She nods. Gets out of the tent.
Ah, great. And he'll kind of stumble into the tent.
Okay.
What does she have on hand? She's gonna toss something at him.
A javelin.
No, not a javelin.
She tosses a right-on javelin at him.
She tosses her basic crafter's book at him into the tent.
Oh, thank you.
Reading to sleep by.
So, yeah, some light reading material.
Yes.
All right. So that means a perception check from Jello Shot. Jalurie. I know the right name.
She's before any of that happens, she's gonna wait for Jarrko to fall asleep, and then she's gonna wake Cashew up.
Okay.
You trying to skip your watch?
No. More exciting than that, because I'm assuming she knows a little bit about Cashew and stuff and Mama Nutt from just him talking.
Yeah, Cashew's not a huge proponent for keeping his mouth shut. He's really good at lying when he has to, but...
So she'll wake him up and go, Jarrko saw some tree spirits.
What? That's the wrong voice. What? What? I don't know why I always wake up and I'm choking on something.
Drooling, and the drool just sort of gets sucked back in a little too fast.
Yeah, he wakes up and he inhales and the drool goes back in. He's like,
no! Cashew inhale on spit.
What do you know about tree spirits?
What kind?
I don't know, the kind that are over there. You want to come with me?
Yeah, tree spirits here? Wait a minute, we talking like summer fair, winter fair. It's really important.
Jalurie shrugs her shoulders and says, they're not supposed to be hostile, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. It's probably just dryads.
Yeah, he'll get up.
Yeah, I don't think it's really anything to look at, but I mean, I'll take a look at it, I guess.
Well, I've never seen one before.
What? I don't believe you, they're everywhere.
Nah. At least not in bars.
You should probably spend this time in bars.
She laughs. Probably.
Wow, that's a weird...
That's real. Yeah.
There's a weird sentence here come out of my mouth.
That's what I was about to say.
So she'll go and she'll sort of keep an eye out for any sort of tree spirits along with Cashew.
Okay.
They're like, it's almost morning. Why didn't anybody say anything? Like a bonfire in the woods? Nobody followed the light, did they?
What?
Like a light in the woods, you know, like a fire. Like sometimes you see a fire off the road. Nobody, like everyone's still here, right? Like nobody was like, oh, a fire, I should go look at that.
Jalurie will make a quick perception check, if that's all right with what Cashew is saying. Make sure everyone's there.
Cashew will do it too. I'm not going to make a perception check. I'm just going to look at everyone.
Yeah, fair enough. But perception check to see if there's anything else going on, essentially.
Okay. You may roll me a perception check for looking for the dryads, and anything else that may be happening.
I suppose this is technically also my watch now.
Yeah, because I don't know that Cashew's going to go back to sleep. He'll probably just take a nap.
Yep, that's pretty good. That'll be a modified 20 for Cashew.
That'll be a 7 for Jalurie. I'm rolling really bad.
It's a good thing I rolled.
Jalurie starts to wander off into the other side of the road, but Cashew sees out of the corner of his eye the auburn color scheme of a autumn fae.
It's the what?
The autumn color scheme, the fall color scheme of an autumn fae.
Oh, okay. I know. I thought Addie said something.
He did, to his sister.
Whoa! What?
He'll go get Jalurie and be like,
they're over here. Hey, where you going?
I thought they were. No,
my friend wants to see you.
It's just like calling off into the woods.
She'll turn around and look.
Okay.
She's never met a dryad before. She lives in a bar.
You see a
Bar slash temple, but close enough.
The trees here are deciduous. They have their leaves still. They have not fully started to turn like the ones in the west would have, but 3 or 4 bright autumn leaves fall by the largest tree at the edge of this little grove.
Okay.
Jalurie will go and investigate.
I'll walk up to the tree.
Okay. You walk up to the tree. And let me see. You see this hand start to come out as you're going around the tree. She rolled a 2, so you're going to see her pretty much whatever you roll.
Mhm.
She comes out, and the hand comes out behind Cashew. Cashew sees it. It's got its little pinchers ready. Cashew sees it.
Is he gonna pinch me on the butt?
I'm like, man, I wonder what they could be, and I just like reach down and interlace my fingers with the hand before it can pinch me.
He's like, oh. Pull.
Oh
back into
no! If only I could find them. Just like I'm now like just like swinging hands with the tree.
You feel it like pulling, and then you hear giggles from inside of the tree, and it stops pulling, and its face kind of comes out from the bark of the tree, and it looks and smiles and laughs.
Hello, Atom Child.
It looks at you, looks you up and down, and says,
Or actually, sorry, he probably says hello, Autumn Child, but he says it in Sylvan.
I figured. She kind of looks you up and down, kind of pulls herself up closer to your height by moving in the tree. It's like, what child are you to know us?
I am a son of Nutt.
In which I can
Nice.
hear someone in the peanut gallery going, "Aren't we all?"
Son of a nut, as she says, of Mother Nutt.
Yeah, you know Mama Nutt. Everybody know Mama Nutt.
Oh yes, Mama Nutt. She kind of
Jalurie
steps
is just
out
like
of it.
looking around, trying to figure out what the heck they're saying.
The dryad would look over at you. You travel with non-Fae.
Yeah, they're kind of weird, but I like them.
Mm.
They tell me you've been running through the forest. Is there a party? Can I get some deets?
Oh, there is no party, she
Dang
says, very with that tone. I fled the West Wood.
Fled? What could chase a dryad from her trees?
The darkness can.
Do I know what she's talking about?
Yes, you and Jarrko also fled from the West Wood, from where your backstory stuff was going on.
Yeah.
So you fled in the same way that Jalurie and Tibelda did. So you had a head start on them.
Yeah, I feel like I probably understand that a lot of mortal magic has trouble forcing the Fae to do most things. And a sort of a progressively troubled expression starts to take hold of Cashew's face.
What is it, Cashew? What's wrong?
The dark.
I suppose I should say this in common. He looks at you and starts to speak in Sylvan, and then realizes what he's doing.
She just sort of cocks an eyebrow at him.
All right. Wait. Sorry. I'm still thinking in tree. She says the darkness is chasing the Fae from the trees.
Jalurie gets an equally troubled expression across her face.
How? I guess I'm gonna. He's talking in tree again. How far has it spread? Is there no way to stop it?
I don't know of a way to stop it. It pushed. The things are still there, but they're empty. The ones like her, they're not inside themselves anymore.
Cashew's expression gets a little darker still, and he says to this dryad woman, words.
Thank you, Adam Child. If you must flee, flee further.
The darkness is an enemy of fate, and I will deal with it in time.
She seems to smile. You nuts always were very proactive.
I wish I'd never.
Well,
gone
you know
to
what Mama
Lucia.
Nut always says: "See a seed, fill a need." Ha ha.
What was that, Colin?
I wish I'd never gone to Milcian.
Doesn't sound great, from what I'm hearing. That sounds like a huge bummer.
Pretty sure my grandmother was the cause of all of this.
Cashew kills Jello Shot. No,
What do you mean?
I don't know. I saw her by some big tree performing some kind of ritual. It looked like she was getting ready to kill a child, and some people from the town sort of stopped her, but the shadows still came. I don't know. She starts heading back to the tents.
Maybe not. I mean, this rituals under trees isn't that weird. I mean, I just held hands with a woman made of bark.
Jalurie laughs. She turns around real quick and sticks her hand out towards the tree, ready to shake hands.
She kind of looks at you.
If she doesn't react quickly enough, Jalurie will boop her nose.
Well, I mean, she kind of looks at you. She kind of takes her hand from Cashew, extends it out to you, and just as you're about to grab it, she disappears back in the tree and giggles.
Jalurie laughs. Oh, that was interesting. I suppose we should get back to work, though. And she heads back to the tents.
Work? I was asleep. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Go for it. And Jalurie continues to take her shift.
Cashew goes back to the wagon to sleep.
Well, you say you're about to go back to sleep. So as you're walking back to the wagon, make me a will save.
Okay. I was gonna say he goes back to the wagon and he lays down to sleep, but he was gonna take out his cards and try to figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Will save is an 11.
An 11?
Yes.
You I'm gonna go back to sleep, and you start to walk back to the cart, and maybe I should take out my and you just fall flat asleep, face down.
Do I feel it before it hits me?
Yeah, you kind of get that feeling, that tickle at the back of your brain.
Typical Autumn.
So, there you go.
Jalurie sort of turns around, looks at him sleeping there. Best not to wake him.
I mean, you probably heard him say typical Autumn before he just head first into the dirt.
Shoo. Shoo. Shoo.
She will continue to take her watch, and at the end of it, if Jarrko isn't out of her tent, she's gonna collapse it on him, and then go fall asleep under the wagon where his bedroll was. Yeah.
Didn't have no bedroll.
Huh?
You didn't have no bedroll.
And she'll fall asleep in the wagon, I guess.
Okie dokie. Because Cashew ain't in the wagon right now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you do that.
Oh, and then is it Cashew's watch?
Yes. It comes back around to Cashew's watch.
Okay. Now she'll try to wake him up.
Okay.
Sort of poke at him. You're muted.
Yeah, I figured that out as you were saying.
Yeah.
Cashew's sort of in the middle of a dream right now, and the last thoughts he was having before he was knocked unconscious was about going back to the wagon and maybe reading his cards. So I did draw 3 and I played them, and they're pretty much exactly what's happening. I'm having a really fucked up nightmare right now.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right.
Does Jalurie have anything for that? I don't think so. Yeah, no. I suppose she'll,
Not like terrifying, like, ah! And he's, like, flailing his arms around. It's upsetting. Like, he's clearly not sleeping well right now.
Yeah, she'll wake him up and, because I guess we're passing to the next day relatively soon, she'll cast Bless on him.
Okay.
Make him feel a little bit better. Which is,
The concentration, so I don't think you want to do that.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Doesn't do much.
Okay, yeah.
He's within a 30-foot aura of me, so never mind.
Okay. He starts awake a little more violently this time, and he shouts something in Sylvan that I assume you don't understand. But,
Nope.
You
You okay, Cashew?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. Just bad dream. That's all it was. Just bad dream.
Yeah. I had one earlier tonight, too. Your watch.
and maybe
Jarrko
I'm,
is still in my tent, so I'm gonna borrow the wagon.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna use it.
Cashew does like walk over to the wagon though, and he like sits up, in the front of it. And because Cashew's so heavy, like the wagon, like visibly, like he pulls out his. And I was gonna say maybe I'm overreaching here, but he pulls out his deck of reading cards and flips off the first 3 and turns them over, and they're the exact same ones from his dream.
Oh. Which are, for the viewers?
I can't give you the if it's of cups or wands right now because I'd have to scroll up and down this page for it. But basically, it was essentially like worry, guilt, and sacrifice.
Okay. So you draw that out. A perception check, if you would, just to.
Yeah, of course. 12 plus 1 is 13.
Okay. With the 13, everything goes fine for the rest of your watch. And the sun is starting to brighten up the other part of the sky. And you are coming into the next day.
All right. Cashew casts Mage Armor on himself, and then he goes and wakes everyone up.
Oh, a tent.
He's got like one of the big colanders out of like the back of the wagon. He's just like bling bling bling.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 dang, dang, da, 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 dang, dang, dang.
This tent is
Wacky.
collapsed. It's a very bad. This is troublesome.
Oh, Ed, he with his breakfast. Someone trapped a weasel in the tarp.
No, there's no weasel.
Oh, it's just Jarrko.
It's just me.
You mean you slept through that?
The what?
You slept through that?
Slept through what? It's very nice to have a warmed up tent when you're sleepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
Yeah.
Jalurie gets sort of a stern look across her face, and she cocks an eyebrow at him. You do know that that's my tent, right?
Oh, right. You weren't using it, so I figured I might as well.
I was going to go back to it.
Oh, well, you know. Could have woken me up.
I tried.
Lassie.
In literally the worst way imaginable, too.
Right?
Like I'm gonna go wake him up by forcing myself to reset this tent up again.
We're moving out anyway.
Yeah. It's already half down.
Well,
Right.
if it had woken him up, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Not true.
All right. So, the day starts off fine. And I suppose everyone relays information to each other?
Yeah, and do Do we lose those 5 temporary hit points and stuff? It's a new day?
Yes. It's a new day.
Oh well.
Those are so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, Cashew talks about everything that happened, except for the cards.
If Cashew is not forthcoming with...
Cashew does talk about it, he said.
But like with the cards, I mean.
Yeah, he doesn't. He talks about everything but the cards. He talks about talking to the Dryad and like all the other stuff that happened there, but he doesn't talk about his nightmare and he doesn't talk about the cards.
Then Octarion would ask for a reading.
You can't do multiple readings a day. You get conflicting results.
It's a new day. We just gotta.
It's a new day.
All right, hold on 1 minute. I literally just forgot what I said earlier. Okay, there we go. Yeah, he will, but he'll do the reading for you, but you have to draw the cards, sort of thing. So he'll shuffle the deck and hold the cards out to you.
Okay, sure. Octarion will draw 3.
Okie-dokie. Man, this would be easier with real cards. I've got a couple friends who read tarot recreationally, and I'm sure I'm pissing them off right now. Okay. What is this? This is diamonds. They got nightmares, new beginnings, and daydream.
What does it mean?
That you had nightmares last night, but it's a new day, so it's time to daydream.
Oh, thanks, Adam.
But what?
I was just thanking you.
I was just thanking you. You know, yes. I'm grateful for your insight always.
Yeah. Oh.
Basically that in the oh fuck no, they're backwards. Ah!
What did you do?
How did I know that? How did I know that would bother you?
Cashew does that like literally.
Yeah,
like,
I know. He's clearly real flustered about last night, and when he's fixing up his cards, he makes a couple like really amateurish mistakes that I don't know. Maybe you think something about it, maybe you don't. Basically, it means that going forward, you're gonna have to take your choices seriously because they're going to matter.
Okay. Octarion will nod thoughtfully and then climb up into the saddle, eager to get going. Our path takes us like away from where the Dryad is, correct? Yeah, it totally does. Okay.
Yep. You go south to Knob's Landing. You wish to continue, I believe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you'd like to do in the grove beforehand?
Prepare spells.
Prepare spells over breakfast.
You prepare
Hey,
spells
Cashew.
while we eat breakfast, sort of thing.
Yeah.
What do dryads eat?
That's an excellent question. To which I do not possess an answer.
Photosynthesis.
They're vague.
Photosynthesis.
I don't think they have to eat, but
Virgin
basically
tears.
photosynthesis. So long as they're in their tree, they sort of feed off the primal energy of the land.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be doing the voice.
So long as dryads are in their trees, they just sort of feed off the primal energy of the land.
So, Jalurie will take her water skin and use it to sort of water the tree she saw the dryad in just a little bit. Like, you said it's a big tree, so it's not going to be enough to really make much of a difference.
Okay.
But she will go back to the river or the little stream you said we saw and fill it back up.
Yeah.
Octarion will do
Okay.
the same.
All right. It's just you two going to go do that then?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
So you guys go over and do that. You see as you guys are bending down to do that, you pour it out, and the face kind of comes out and looks at Octarion. Octarion sees that the cheeks aren't nearly as emaciated now. She's much more vibrant and lively, and she just looks at you and says,
Okay.
because I assume you don't speak Sylvan.
Nope, I almost took it, but I went with Celestial instead. This is the first character in like 6 characters that didn't speak Sylvan as its like primary outsider language. So Octarion will just place his hand on the tree and like nod his head reverently.
Try to remember it verbatim to repeat back to Cashew, I'm sure.
What's sort of the
I don't have
tonation?
auto hypnosis. I'm not psionic. I can't.
What's the tonation on that? Is it like a joyful tone, a sorrowful tone, somewhere in between?
Tone-wise, it seems to be a genuine tone. Without understanding like what she's saying, you think there's kind of a like thank you kind of thing going on, or something like that.
I hate you so much.
Close enough.
For stopping the dwarf from peeing on that tree. I'm gonna real quick.
That pee is great for my growth.
Let's just get all the dwarves then. I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna try
Really rich in minerals.
See if I can't like determine what might be a better offering for a dryad than water. Here goes nothing. 21.
Water's a pretty solid offering, and depending on the fae would depend on really what you're getting, what you're going to give them for that. For autumn fae, they like to have things that are not from their season. So,
Okay.
like the summer, the winter, the autumn, and the spring fae like to have things that aren't from their season. So if you were to give her an unripened gathering of berries that were gotten from spring somehow, then she would find that a delicacy versus actually ripened fruit, which would come off in summer and fall. Or evergreen leaves, not evergreen leaves, but pine tea and things like that might be another offering.
Okay.
Because they're something that a autumn fae wouldn't get to particularly enjoy because they're all year round and they don't have the same potency unless it's in winter time for the amount of vitamins and minerals in the
I might have something for that then.
Okay, I'm gonna relay this to Jalurie because Octarion definitely does not have anything like that at all in his inventory.
I mean,
Get a nice spring
closest thing
vintage.
Jalurie has is healer's tools, which might contain some little bit of herbs or something. But that's the closest I got.
Yeah, they wouldn't be fresh though.
Yeah.
Care for some disinfectant?
I've got some medical spirits.
Are you done with the trees already? We are having a bit of a stop here. I don't really feel like we should have it.
Are they? Do I know where they are? Like I know they went to go back to the dryad tree.
Yeah, it's not far enough away that you guys wouldn't be able to see them.
Oh, okay.
Either way, as the tree's sort of sticking its face out, Jalurie wants to boop its nose.
All right. You boop its nose. It disappears inside and just giggles and laughs. Its hands shoot out at multiple angles to try and pinch you.
Jalurie laughs along with it. And I suppose she's trying to, like, catch the hands as they go. Succeeding some, not succeeding on others.
Yeah. She is pretty fast about it.
I mean, I could make a reflex save if you really want me to make it mechanical.
No, come on.
I think we're just gonna leave her here. You look so happy.
She lives with the trees now.
Yeah. One with the trees now.
All right. So, what's the happenings?
Whipping
Heading out
on the
now?
boars. Here we go.
Hooking up the boars.
Yeah, about time to go.
Yeah, Cashew's loading a bunch of like the last of the heavy camping supplies into the wagon. I probably cast iron stuff, like anything we would if we built a fire last night, like anything that would have been used to cook with.
Okay. You guys pack up pretty efficiently. It's not your first rodeo. You guys head out, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of negative weather effects happening today, because the sky seems to be clearing out well. The sunrise, as you move out, is this golden sunrise that most of the clouds have remained white in the sunrise, and it makes this nice bright coloring over the, again, green turning gold fields. You continue on, and I assume the same people are driving, so we can make perception checks.
16 for Octarion. My horse has a 12.
All right, I'm gonna be sitting off the back of the wagon today. So I have a 15.
16, 15, 14 from Lucia, 17 from Jalurie.
Finally got a decent roll in. Almost decent.
7
Half decent.
Jarrko is too distracted by his porcine propulsion and directing them to be able to really get a good view of anything going on. Lucia and Cashew are pretty well on the ball as far as looking around, keeping an eye. Cashew especially gets a view off in the distance. There's this very, very high cloud far away to where he would guess Milcian is. And stretching up into the sky is this rather dark mass of black cloud looking stuff.
Cashew
And you guys
probably spends significant time just staring at it.
Octarion will too. He probably actually doesn't range super far ahead of the wagon today.
Yeah. You guys know that you guys are 2 or 3 days, 2 to 2.5 days travel from where you are on this part of the road-ish, is how far it is from Milcian. And this is relatively flat. It's a hilly kind of range, but as you're coming to Knob's Landing, some of the hills are starting to get in the way of it, because you're getting closer to the highlands. But you can, even over some of those hills, you can look into the sky and see that this cloud is not necessarily just growing out, not just flat, it's growing up as well. That's the main thing that gets seen today. And Jalurie does notice, as she's departing, a hand waving out of the tree that she sees right there.
Adam,
wave back.
this might be a stretch, but might I perhaps, like in the fletchings of my arrows, perhaps have like feathers of birds that are not native to this part of the world during this time of year?
Oh,
That's
definitely. You're not even
closest I
hungry,
got.
so.
Okay, then in that case, Octarion will break a couple arrows and leave them at the base of the tree.
I shoot the tree.
Yep. Here you go. I wanted to let the creature get all of its like hit points and stuff back when I saved it. To make sure we got the experience for murdering it.
Oh, is
See,
that
this is
what it was?
Oh yeah. Lawful evil metagaming.
Okay. So you do that. You are able to leave some feathers behind, and she seems to wave back to you.
Now I have 98 of those.
Good Lord, there must be a barrel in this wagon where you keep those.
I assume they're strapped to the saddle of my horse.
Just in
Because
bundles.
they come in tens.
Yeah.
That's not the weirdest thing.
Okay,
that's
then.
all I had.
So you guys
Jalurie's
head
probably
out.
looking at the shadow solemnly. The shadowy cloud.
You guys do, and you have to actually take Mulgren off the ground. Mulgren does not seem to be exactly coherent right now. He hasn't woken up, and he continues to have fitful sleep.
Man, he didn't even eat the eyeball.
Maybe a knowledge religion check? Yeah, sounds good. That would be a 14.
14. You're not aware of any kind of specific things with other religion. Technically, religion is divided into, like, there's basic religion, and then there's specific lore about your deity. So,
yeah, she's not really looking for lore. She's more of trying to figure out if there's some cause to his fitfulness while he's sleeping.
There
would be of a supernatural in nature.
Three tails,
okay.
Not good. Not good.
He doesn't look very well. He's sweating and having that fitful sleep. But you're not. It's hard to tell if it's anything magical or something like that, because all he did was go to sleep. So he's definitely.
Tibelda's gonna try shaking him and tapping his face to wake him up.
Wake up! Mulgren! You idiot! Okay. So, Tibelda kind of looks at Jalurie, just kind of, gingerly looking him over, and just kind of goes up to him and grabs him and is like, "Wake up!" And aside from the that happens with his head, there's no change with him. So,
yes.
Tibelda drops him and just kind of looks at it. It's kind of like, did what I could.
I tried.
Yes, far away from the Dark One's domain. Perhaps it has something to do with the open sky.
Well, like he's allergic to fresh air?
You could say that, yes, Cashew.
He covers his head with a bag to simulate the confined space of underground.
Yeah, just let him bootleg his own CO2 for a little while. He'll perk right up.
All right. So, are you guys stopping for lunch this time, or are you continuing through?
We're pushing.
I think that if you... Huh?
We're pushing.
Pushing?
I'm gonna
I was
push
about
it.
to say, if you guys think if you push through, you can get there well, like 3 or 4 hours before sunset even hits in.
So, Jalurie is going to cast Stabilize on him just because it's a healing-positive energy spell. See if that does anything.
Okay. That is doable.
And it's a cantrip, so I don't have to waste anything for it either.
Fair.
Right, we're not stopping, so if you need to go, do it from the back.
Yeah, just lean off the back.
Yes.
But, tell me first. Don't just start going. That's rude.
All right. So you guys continue on, and you go ahead and push through, you said. So, let's have a last perception check for the square, and then we will get you guys to Knob's Land.
Nope. 14. Ah, there we go.
9.
I'm back.
9 and 13.
Man, you get to roll twice,
18.
and you're still doing crap.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, somebody's got our first natural 20 with the 4 degrees of success, so that would be sweet.
Yeah.
You did it, Alex.
That
I
is true.
did it. What did I win?
What do your dwarf eyes see, Jarrko?
They see that the surprise round doesn't happen when the shadows show up.
The shadow.
The shadow?
Perhaps over Milcian, and soon to be everywhere else.
Yep.
No. Stop.
Oh, you did it.
There you go. I couldn't help myself. I found it on there, and I was like, I'm going to put that on there. First,
Kaleo, I don't know who you are, but you're a hack.
So there's the critical that you got. So your critical, with your critical, even being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even being like a couple days away travel from Milcian, you see that, well, you wouldn't even have to see it from there. You see that birds and flocks of birds are flying away from Milcian. Both you and Jalurie notice that. Cashew and, most everybody else except, maybe Octarion, are able to... Octarion. You actually do pass some people going this way. They seem to be heading out towards Lordland, and other than just heading towards Lordland, they don't seem to have anything going on. You can stop them if you wish, or just let them pass.
None shall pass.
None shall pass. You shall not. Okay.
I'll just casually greet them as we pass by.
Hey.
Hello.
So, you pass about 3. They seem to be heading out in a group, or fairly close to a group. One seemed to head out earlier than the other 2. And they are mainly carrying food goods and other accoutrements for things mainly geared around importing into Lordland, hopefully to then pick up stuff to trade back down at Knott's Landing. But other than that, they don't seem to have any interesting things in their wagon.
Having flashbacks. This is what happened last time. We passed someone selling fish, and then you sicked a demon horse on us.
I didn't
sick squat
on you.
I believe that was Malcolm, actually, that sicked the demon horse upon you.
At Adam's behest.
As we're getting closer to Knob's Landing, Jarrko will pull up his cowl and apply some new, fresh face paint.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. So, Jarrko gets dolled up before getting to Knob's Landing, and we'll resolve that at 20 now for him, because as you're getting close to Knob's Landing, you recognize it's not really... I'll go ahead and take y'all to Knob's Landing, actually. It's not really a well...
Damn, they have their own castle?
So, well, it's a keep. But they do have that. That's where the Lord the Lord stays. Not the royal Lord, but just the Lord of
the
this
one with the most
place.
money.
Yeah, kind of. The Lord over this particular town.
We're in that time and area where every rich punk owned a castle.
Fair enough. For more information about him, you can look in your handouts for the.
Is it under rich punk or?
No, it's under the cartographer's nook. It tells you about who is the person in charge of each town, which would be common knowledge. So, and Knob's Landing, to be. Well, I guess I can read this for the individuals that don't get to play. And look at this. Knob's Landing size is a small town. It has a population at last census around 1,981 people. The ruler is Lord Knob Hogwasher II.
What a name.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a gnome.
This village on the edge of the Highlands, Knob's Landing, was founded by the halfling Civil War hero and master trader Knob Hogwasher. During the war, he fought and won several battles in the area and loved it so much that he called it the most picturesque place in the new Kelligoth. He initially just had a large plantation at the foothills of the Highlands, but eventually his home's position just after the rather tough road through the sometimes tribal raider-infested Highlands acted as an important waypoint on the developing trade route. Knob's Landing, now now is a relaxed trade stop that offers a bit of relief for travelers on the West Road. So there you go. It looks very much like you see in the picture. It has the wood and stone buildings with the shingled roofs, some of them more decorative than others, and a rather vertical penchant for design, though it is not very large. It is more vertical than large.
Okay, so it strikes me as a town like there's not necessarily a lot of people that live here, but a lot of money comes through here.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's kind of a stopover point.
All right, I got you. It's like Vancouver.
But obviously smaller than that.
Yeah, oh yeah, significantly.
There actually are some minstrels on the outside of town. The city gates are... There is this border that is there. You pass several small... Not necessarily small, actually. You pass several farms and plantations coming in from the north. And as you do, you get closer and closer, and you see that there are some guards at the guard tower. They seem to be stopping people occasionally. So everybody can roll me a... Well, actually, this is what we'll use those D20s for. So, people seem to keep going in and out, and they kind of look over your little group, and they hold their hand up to Octarion and say, "Ho, what is your business?"
Octarion will hold his hand up as well, and then like turn around in the saddle to grab. God, does Cashew have to be the part? Yeah, okay. We're gonna like just signal for Cashew. Or no, it wouldn't be Cashew. It'd be Jarrko. He is the better party phase of it. Just kind of like point in his direction and signal Jarrko to come up.
I don't know that he's a better party face.
You can too. I won't stop you.
Jalurie is mildly offended.
Let's like actually use the word part. Who's the party face back there? Meta.
All right, which one uses the prettiest?
Probably the charisma caster.
The two of them.
Yeah, all right. Let's we just bring the wagon up. We're probably fairly close to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Are you traveling together?
I'm sorry, Nomad.
Yes. Yes, we are in the same company, yes.
Okay. And your business in Nobb's Landing?
Oh, well, we're just here to take a rest, really. We are on the way to Oxrock, so this is just a stop on the way.
Ah. Looks you up and down. Going to join the guild?
No, we have business in Oxrock.
Looks true. All right. What type of business are we talking about?
Oh, we're there to retrieve something for our employer. That's why we have the wagon.
Oh, delivery boys. All
right.
Well, you can go in if you wish, then. You don't seem to be carrying any contraband.
No, it is only traveling supplies.
So we do encourage you to keep your boars in control, dwarf. The last time we had some in here, they were rowdy.
Oh, it should not be a problem.
Yes.
Do you have any tavern that you could recommend?
There are several taverns. What are you looking for?
A good time, but not too expensive.
Well, not too expensive. There's, let me see. The Sexy Hound is there. You can go to that one. So, that's if you're looking for a bit of company, I suppose. Though, I'd probably go to the Sobering Halfling, or perhaps the Potbelly Imp.
Jalurie will look up at the guard. And what tavern serves the best ale in town?
Well, I mean, that depends. Are you going to pay some money? Because if I like to go to the slobbering halfling, but that's only because I can't afford what they put on a guard salary at the Potbelly Imp.
More so looking for a place where I could practice a day's worth of trade. I'm a barkeep.
Oh. Well, you might want... I don't know that they're just going to hire you straight off the street, but I heard that there was... Looks at you, looks you around. I suppose you could go to the Sexy Hound. The slobbering don't see them hiring at the slobbering halfling, considering they've had the same people there forever. And the Potbelly Imp is a higher crust establishment. So.
Jello, what's a sexy hound?
She looks at Cashew, says, "A job I'm not interested in."
I'll show you one day.
When you're older.
When you're older.
Well,
I mean, fair. I was gonna say fair enough, but Cashew's like 19.
Yeah, but not at heart.
I know. He's a child. I guess like before he says that, I suppose that exchange is preceded by him getting out of the back of the wagon and walking around because he's been listening to the conversation and assuming the guards are normal men. Cashew does probably like tower over them.
Okay. This particular guard's a half-orc. In fact, both the guards that are here at this gate are half-orcs. Passing back and forth, it's a fairly bustling area, so you see a mixture of half-orcs, half-elves, mostly the bastard races,
Mm-hmm.
but there's an occasional human, several halflings, a gnome, so you're towering over most people, though some of the other half-orcs...
I mean, he does.
Yeah, some of the other half-orcs get close to your size, but are not nearly... You still got a good, probably 6 to 5 inches on them.
Right.
Wow, you're big.
We shan't keep you.
The more orc blood they have, the bigger they usually are. In Kelagoth, anyway.
Well, I mean, Paizo hasn't come out with giant blood yet, so I mean...
Orids are larger.
Yeah. True. Alright. Unless they change the lore. Right, Kane?
Yes. Well, I mean, you're the one who's upset about that, not me.
Yeah. Alright.
So
that's where you can go.
what kind of prices do you think a place like the Potbelly Imp would have? Some of the sort of that upper crust establishment, just based on having worked around alcohol for quite some time.
Nothing costs less than silver. Not a single thing on the menu. So, I mean, I don't frequent it.
I mean, we could just go look.
No, I was more so looking for just information based on what I would know. But I suppose she will head that direction.
Okay.
Assuming
so you're going...
everybody else is taking a break.
Well, we still have a wagon.
Yeah, we're still at the gate. We haven't gone in yet.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, you're splitting off from the party before the party's even split.
I mean, Jarrko's gonna go through the gate, and then he's gonna, like, make a quick
yeah.
stop, and just...
They said they'd let us in.
Just look back at everyone. Alright. Can I ask one thing of all of you? To not perhaps stand out, like, unnecessarily much. Well, you're a barkeep. No, you're a
Cashew looks down at himself and then back at you.
This pudgy,
you're
pale half-orc.
You're not a barkeep, you're a fetcher. We're here to fetch something. We're not looking... Or are you jumping off the mission?
Just looking for some spare silver on the side, that's all.
Right, well, we're leaving in the morning. Just so you know, with or without you.
Yeah, More so looking for recipes than anything else.
Well, then we should go to the Potbelly Imp. If they're supposed to be really expensive, it's probably really good, right? That's what people keep telling me, is that good things cost money.
It's not necessarily right, but for the most part.
Well, that's because you steal everything.
I don't steal anything.
Okay.
Anyway, when he gets the wagon moving again.
Okie dokie. So you continue on. You guys go.
Multi-class into rogue.
All right. You guys move along. You pass several things in the. You pass several things happening within the town. You have to go to the center of town and then take. There's the large fountain in the center of town, and then you have to go to one side or the other of it to go to the high or the low side of town, basically. You heading towards Oxrock will get you closer to the higher end side of town. Most of the shops are in this near the center, and then as you get to the edges along the walls, especially as you get closer to the Highlands area, the Highland side of it, you have a decline in the affluence of the individuals.
You could just say it gets ghetto-y, man.
as you know, Cashew breaks the fourth wall to talk to you.
Classic Kane.
I've been to 118
All right.
before. You gotta be careful where you step. There's a lot of heroin needles.
All right. So what do you guys want to do?
Jalurie is going to, like, I'm assuming there's not much to do here besides rest for the day. Sorry. Rest, get goods.
Yeah, I want to go buy a new instrument. As much as I really like the idea of a drum, I kind of want to swap out every once in a while because drum music is not always fitting the mood, and also Cashew's enormous drum is a little cumbersome.
Fair. All right.
Maybe I'll get like a marimba or a hammer dulcimer. It only weighs 600 pounds.
So, Jalurie will go and do some crafting, quote unquote, of alcoholic beverages. Look for work doing that, at least for the night.
Okay, so you want to go and find some fill-in work for a bartender.
Yeah, I was hoping to do more so the crafting aspect of it, like the actual brewing of stuff. Because I do have a better role for crafting than anything else.
Don't think they work night shift.
Yeah.
Probably.
Crafting ale is a lot different than serving ale.
Yes.
They wrap that underneath the barkeep thing, do they?
No, I actually have ranks in crafting, and I was hoping to apply alcohol lore to crafting because I actually bought a couple of recipes for drinks.
Okay, so you want to mix drinks. Is that what you're wanting to do?
Brew them. Different.
Okay, downtime happens.
You
to
can't
brew
make
something?
mead in a night. You need like 3 months.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it would be really
And just
Or
crafting miscellaneous
alcohol.
goods. Crafting, repairing
Okay.
stuff.
okay. I mean, you could try it. You could go to the Potbelly Imp or any of the others and look for a barkeep job for the night if you want to. That's up to you. I'm not keeping.
Yeah,
it from
but I'll
you.
have better success with crafting. Just based on what my stats are right now. That's all.
Okay. Okay. So you can tinker and stuff. Where would you like? Are you guys still heading to the Potbelly Imp?
I'm pretty sure that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Jalurie would like to check it out, possibly find out where they import their drinks from. And of
Okay.
course have a few.
Fair. So you go to the Potbelly Imp. It seems to be. Let me see. What time is it when you guys get there? It's probably around with the way the sun sets at that time of the year. It's probably, 3:30, 4 o'clock when you get in the actual room, the actual town. So that means you're getting over to there around probably 4:30. The sun is starting to wane low towards the hills in the west, in the east. So as you come up to the Potbelly Imp, it has a dark wood for the outside of it, and that white space in between the wood is a very, very bright white to make the dark wood look a little bit even darker. And someone has, and they have velvety kind of looking curtains along each of the windows, so that you don't really see in. They just have them drawn at the moment. And as you guys are approaching, it's probably, like I said, probably about 4. So they probably are starting to pull them back now to let the light from the windows start to shine out. And there's the warm yellow light of candle and firelight coming from inside there.
Classy.
The individuals pulling those back, you are a probably teenager, a teenager girl, and a couple of boys about probably her age as well, moving back the curtains and stuff like that, and starting to sweep stuff out, doing an extra sweep out of the tavern. Did you guys approach? You see a shingle that has a imp on it with a big belly, holding up a tankard and like little bubble things above his head indicating inebriation.
Okay, I want to make note of where this is, and then I want to go buy another music instrument.
Okay.
And Jalurie will walk in.
All right. So you walk in. They're getting all the tables put down. All the tables are already put. All the chairs around the tables are already put down. And they seem to be putting down some more in a corner. As you come in, and it's not very full just yet, but there are some people also starting to filter in. You come into a stone-floored area with probably field stone is the main source of their rocky building materials. The inside is not lit particularly brightly, but they seem to be favoring reds in the decoration. And that's mainly what you see. No one's behind the counter at the moment. There are 2 or 3 barkeeps. Not barkeeps. There are 2, you think 3 based upon the way it looks, because there's actually seems to be a group of twins working, and another woman as the servers, the waitresses. There is coming out now from in the back what looks to be the barkeep himself.
Yeah, she'll sort of like look on the shelf behind the bar to see what sort of drinks they got, or what sort of liquors, I should say.
They seem to have, based on your rather well-traveled experience, they seem to have a selection of the more pricey stuff. Perhaps not the most expensive selection that you've seen, but they've got some older whiskeys there that look of quality, as well as at least one rum that you know is somewhat difficult to get, and they have a more common selection as well in other areas. Excuse me.
Jalurie will sit down at the bar, Order some of that fancy rum. What's the damage on that gonna be? I got some gold left.
You got silver left?
I have gold as well as some silver.
Okay, well, technically, you guys do have gold if you charge it to your earnings. So.
This is without that.
Okay.
I'm in good shape.
This is definitely a more expensive bit of, like you said, whiskey or rum?
You said rum before. So the rum that's hard to find.
There's whiskey and there's rum. Okay, the rum that's hard to find. It's going to be probably 5 silver pieces.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You get a little cup of rum. The bartender comes up and says, "Oh, so it's good to see some new faces come in. What are you coming through for?"
Just traveling through to Oxrock.
So good destination. So just out for business then?
Yeah, business, I guess you could say. But
Well,
also a little bit for pleasure. Sometimes the two intermingle. Especially with travel.
He gives a wink. Oh, yes, you can always link the two of both of that. I agree with you. Just a moment. Let me know if you need anything else. And he goes off to do that. It's rather... He looks to be full human, but you're not quite sure with his jaw. Might have a little half-orc in there. Bald on the top with just the sides and the back. Wears his apron. Kind of characteristic barkeep stuff that you're used to. Is anybody else here with her?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk into the bar with her.
Okie dokie. Do you choose to purchase any of the pricey liqueurs, or is that's up to you?
No, Tibelda's good on really pricey rum.
It's the city, though. You gotta try new shit.
Yeah, Jalurie sort of takes a whiff of it before taking a sip, and she sort of lets it sit in her mouth for a little bit and try to get all the flavors before swallowing.
Okay. Well, it tastes pretty good for the rum that you've had. The way it's spiced and stuff like that seems to be acceptable.
And with that, she's going to finish the shot all in one swig.
Okay.
So I was like, oh god, here we go again.
Yeah, Tibelda. Yep. Tibelda is like, oh, babysitting. So, Tibelda, I guess being the sober one, will stick around. They do have some selections for food, but this is very much a tavern. This is not an inn. This is not a place you go to like stay. There may be rooms upstairs, but those are probably reserved for special occasions, unless perhaps you guys can organize something, work something out.
Jalurie will sort of wait for the barkeep to come back around. That's some good stuff. Do you have a name for it besides just rum? Fancy rum?
Fancy rum? Sure. It's
putting you on the spot.
Kind of. Oh, that's fun. We import from down below in through the Tench Gulf. It's Molko rum. It comes all the way from Molko Bass. Molko rum is spelled M-U-L-O-C-O.
M-U-L-O-C-O.
Molko rum. From Molko Bass. Different continent.
Wow, that's That's really good. How did you manage to get that sort of an arrangement? Like, that's quite a ways.
Well, we have an agreement with some individuals down in Riverhaven and the Goldmark area, so can't give away all of our secrets, he says, tapping his...
Well, of course, no secret comes without a price.
He looks at you.
I'm sure you had to pay to find this secret in some way or another.
Well, I didn't. The owner did, but sure.
She smiles. I wonder if it would be possible to set up some sort of a meeting to discuss business with the owner of the Potbelly Imp.
He's washing up his cup and he says, "What kind of a meeting are you looking to have with the owner? He's a busy man."
She smiles. I work for the church down at Norton's Way. Was hoping that perhaps to set up a supply line in some way or another.
So, what do you think about this loot? Yeah, Cashew. It has those nuts and things that you like.
Nuts and things. Did you put a picture?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like a lyre, like with a bow or something. Maybe like a ooh, what's this thing?
He's like looking at a hurdy-gurdy.
I think we should look this way.
It's got a crank on it.
Here's some.
Any instrument has a crank. Oh, I kind of like the hurdy-gurdy.
Or well, he doesn't know what it's called.
I kind of like the cranky box.
I don't know. It's a little bit loud.
All right. So, I'm not sure. Let me see. We left off you wanting to organize a meeting with the owner. Is what it was.
Yeah, someone is side questing.
Yeah. Side questing hard. The owner is not going to be. He relays that the owner is not even supposed to be in town for another 2 days. So you can wait and speak with them then.
And unfortunately, I have business in Oxrock I must attend to. But I do thank you for your time and for the drink. And she will order whiskey around a silver piece-ish.
A silver piece of alcohol's worth? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the cheapest thing they have, but okay.
Oh, yeah. You just got to start with the good stuff. And then, you sort of numb your senses with that. Then you go to the bad stuff just to keep yourself drunk.
Okay.
As a career alcoholic, that is an accurate statement.
So
man, I'm gonna drink these 2 bottles of really expensive craft beer so that I can knock back this 8-pack of black ice.
Yep.
So, you do that. You buy for yourself, and I assume if you start off that way, I assume Tibelda is going to get one. But that is up to you guys.
Yeah, that's up to her.
Tibelda's good. She's on babysitting duty now.
All right. Cashew does eventually show up back at the Potbelly Imp. He and Jarrko talked about it. I bought a hurdy-gurdy.
Oh, God.
You bought a hurdy-gurdy. All right. Sounds good to me.
That's 8 silver. I marked it down. It's a thing. We got a big-ass drum and a hurdy-gurdy. I'm going to buy as many instruments as possible that, strap to your chest.
One in every town.
Yeah.
I got this one in Knob's Landing, and I got this one in Oxrock, and I got this one in... Oh, we don't go there anymore.
So I was asking
Alright.
for like chapels in the city.
There are some. They're in. They're not far from the town square, so you can the town circle really, but you can go back that way. And there's one there that is mainly for Abadar and things along those gods along that line. There's also the. Let me see. On the entrances, they have little sconces of the travel deities, specifically Alceta. And they also have a... You kind of ask around a bit, I guess. Okay. You ask around, and I assume Cashew was with you while you were asking around, since you helped him buy the hurdy-gurdy.
Mm-hmm.
Between you two guys asking around, you do find that there is a small devotion to the dwarven pantheon as a whole, a little off the square towards the east. There's a small establishment, I guess is the best way to put it. There's a small establishment of lesser worshipped deities, at least here, and that's where you find it. So you are able to find a temple to the dwarven pantheon as a whole, or at least a place, a shrine.
Cashew,
Anything else?
I'm going to try and find a place to stay. I'll probably meet you in the morning at the fat goblin imp, whatever it was.
I like the fat goblin better.
I suppose while Jalurie's here, she'll try to gather information about, just sort of get a feel as to how people in the area are reacting to the strange clouds over Milcian.
Okay.
Let's see, and that would be a... Oh, great.
I believe that's a diplomacy, is it not?
Yes, that is.
Social, isn't it?
Gather information was diplomacy. But anyways, for having a +6 to diplomacy, I only got an 8, so not much.
Well, it's good you didn't critically fail it. Start giving yourself a bad reputation around here.
Yeah.
But you ask around. The people you ask don't even seem to know really what you're talking about. You do realize and think about it that the only reason that you know that stuff's going on with it is because you've been watching for it, and you came from that way. If you were to try and see it over the buildings, even in the daytime, you might not even see it.
Gotcha.
And from this far away, it doesn't look like much more than a storm cloud, rather than what you know it to be, an ominous shadow cloud of some kind.
Gotcha.
So Jarrko will go to the small establishment of the blessed worship deities.
Okay, you head over there. There is a dwarf there who is currently starting to clean up for the day, do his final obediences and care of the temple, or at least the shrine to the dwarf and deities. He seems to be humming.
Jalurie has a couple more cheap drinks and then looks for a place to stay for the night. Not at the bar, but somewhere else.
Okay. Do you approach the dwarf, or do you just make your obediences and go?
No, he'll approach him. The warmth of the forge fire to you.
Ah. Warmth of the forge fire to you too. Welcome. Gestures. From his look and from his dress, he seems to be more of a hill dwarf, based upon his accent and such. You know that most times hill dwarves have darker coloring. And
more sun.
More sun. So, you go ahead and kind of approach and says, you can look around and do all the service you would like. Which of the forge gods are you wishing to serve today?
Well, I of course honor the pantheon as a whole, but Angrad is the one special in my heart.
A good choice indeed. If you'd like, you can come and have a drink with me, and I can show you where I serve Angrad myself. It's not here, unfortunately, since they've got so many gods they venerate instead of sticking with their true traditional gods. I've set up another place at my house, my dwelling place.
Oh, that would be very appreciated.
This way, brother. And he actually does take you to his abode, built out of stone, of course, no wood. It's like a little miniature castle, and you go into it, but it's mainly just a reception area, and he takes you down instead into the basements. He seems to have guests coming in and out actually on a fairly regular basis, and this seems to be more of a home church area rather than just his dwelling place. And that just seems to be the face. That other shrine seems to just be the face for general populace. There's several other dwarves that actually come in and out in the time you're there and worship at Torag specifically, and then there's another for his wife, and there's a full room devoted to each. So he's gone quite of an expense to do this. But he's got one for each of the main pantheon of dwarves.
This is very impressive. I was not expecting anything of this grandeur.
Well, there ain't many that know about this particular spot. I'm Hark, by the way.
Oh. Yes, where are my manners? I'm Jarrko.
Good to meet you, Jarrko. Well, you can serve here anytime you like. Have you traveled far? And he starts to look you over. You're not from the surface, looks like.
Oh, no, I have unfortunately traveled too far. I'm still on the road for now. Which brings me, I hate to impose, but is there a place I can rest my weary bones for the night?
Oh, of course, brother. You just come right in and you stay with me. There's no need to go out amongst them, long-shanked individuals and have to go out there and play around with them, and they're noisy and tiring ways. You can stay right here in the stone. I've got a room in my basement that's perfect. Makes you feel almost like you're back in the holes.
That is very kind of you, Hark. I shall pray for your luck, and perhaps one day I shall repay you in kind. No, he dropped!
And just as you were about to be cask of amontilladoed by this dwarven cleric.
What did you hear before you disappeared?
Before I disappeared, that you would pray for his.
Oh, yeah. I'll pray for your health and good luck in your toil. And perhaps I should... perhaps I will be able to repay your kindness. One day.
Well, one day. That sounds fine. It shows you two commoner level dwarf, but it's dwarvish rather than kind of unfamiliar surface dweller type stuff.
Cool.
All right. And finally, what is Octarion doing?
I don't know. Not really. To be honest, I'm probably going to as much of the party as, like, isn't going off to go hang out with other people. As bad things are going to happen and the decisions we make are about to matter. And I'll not be caught by himself when that happens. So really, it's probably more just, like, being stuck to Cashew. She's the one he knows the best.
Okay, fair
He's
enough.
probably a little, like, looking around, looking at the sky, hand kind of, like, subconsciously going to the bow on his back or the scimitar and dagger, because I'm not proficient with shields like I thought I was, so I'm going to try to look at it.
Do you have high dexterity?
Yeah.
Just 2-weapon fight. It'll be fine.
This.
18 dex, 16 strength. I think I can figure it out.
Oh yeah, you just 2-weapon the fight out of the crap out of some dudes with your scimitars.
Yep, I have a scimitar and a main gauche.
Get another scimitar.
But yeah, I don't know. But they're not light weapons. It'll be bad. Weapons, excuse me.
Fine, get a curvy knife.
I already did.
Make it do the swoop.
Swoop-de-doop.
The swoop. Make it do the swoop. But yeah, mechanical or like role play to do unless we get jumped, because that's basically what Octarion's probably still mounted until we figure out where the hell it is we're staying, and I want to make sure like stabled as close as possible in case we need to get out of here really fast.
Okay, so based off the options you gave us, Adam, we were talking while you were dropped that it would probably cost the same amount to stay at the Sexy Hound as it would to stay at the Potbellied Imp. So we're probably all gonna lodge at the Slavering Halfling, assuming it's an actual inn. And Tommy is disappearing into the shadowy abyss of the Nether.
You should reach and turn on his light, but we're about to stop anyway, so...
Yeah.
A daylight left will be fine.
So, you guys do think that the Slobbering Halfling would definitely be the most affordable. And if that's what you'd like to do and just get a room real quick, you can do that without any problems. The Halfling there says that it's run by a Halfling, as you would expect. And she gives you a room for the night and says, "All right, dearies, now just make sure that you don't wander about during the night. Stay in your own rooms, please."
Are there ghosts? Is that why we have to stay in the rooms?
No, but this isn't the Sexy Hound, if you know what I mean. If you just stay in your own room, it'd be fine.
Okay, Cashew not get it, but Cashew will stay in room.
Amazing.
All right. So everybody gets a room then. You can do that if you want to.
What will that run us?
That's just a common room. So let me see. That was
One silver.
my PDF went down.
It's 3 copper.
How many rooms are we buying? Do we all get our own room? Or are we all piling in the same bed?
It's 3 copper to sleep on the floor and 1 silver to sleep in a room.
Tibelda's good on the floor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they have a bedroll, because I have still forgotten to buy one. I'll just sleep on the ground in front of the hearth.
All right, dear. Well, you don't roll in, and you make sure you stay out of the fire.
It just says private room for 2 for 8. So I guess if you just have a bed for 1, you're not in your private room.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna probably have to.
Well, I mean, they could be like bunk rooms. Like you'd pay to sleep in a bed in a room that has like 8 bunk beds in it or something.
Yeah.
There are rooms like that available.
Well,
I probably wouldn't
Jalurie has
fit.
a bedroll, so she's good on the ground.
I'm just saying, I probably wouldn't fit in whatever bed they have here, so.
Fair. All right. You guys are able to get your bedrolls, get everything set, and you are done for the night. As Jarrko is going to bed, coming back to that natural 20 he got, it occurs to him as he was walking around, because I meant to say this, but stuff started cutting out, that as he was walking around, he recognized at the in the town a certain saddle hitched outside of just a general goods store that was familiar from his recent past. But we will resolve that next time. Dum dum dum. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone's attention. I appreciate all the viewers that come by. And I apologize for cutting out like that, but I can't control the weather, fortunately.
You're
At
supposed to be.
least, not in the real world.
You're supposed to be God.
Good. No. But hopefully it will not be that way next time. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you had a great time. And as always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye!
Peace.